The freedom is there in Sanatana Dharma. In Sanatana Dharma, there is complete freedom. It is not compulsory that being a Hindu, you have to follow only Adi Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya. You can follow anything. It's a very big umbrella. See the freedom in our Sanatana Dharma. Nobody compels. Father is following Advaita. Mother is Visishta Advaita. Son is Dvaita. It's okay. In one family, all the three philosophies. All are Hindus only. It's a beautiful system. There is no compulsion that you have to do like this. Our mother is always Vishnu Bhakti. Father is Shiva Bhakti. The son, no Bhakti. What a worldly person. That is also accepted. So we have freedom. Now we are going to study Jiva and Ishvara. Okay? Now, who's Jiva first? Who's Jiva? Me only, suffering this family. Jiva. Poor fellow. Jiva, according to Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya in Tattva Bodha, the reflection of Brahman. We are nothing but the reflection of Brahman. No religion will say like that. If you go and say that I am the reflection of Paramatma, we will be finished on the spot. They will destroy us. You are telling that you are God? Finish this fellow. Glory of Sanatana Dharma says, you are reflection of Brahman. Amardasya Putra. Reflection of Brahman, which identifies with the grass body, is called Jiva. We are the reflection of Brahman. We identify with the grass body and we become Jiva. Simple definition. So what happened to you? I ate this, fainted. So why you become Jiva? So actually speaking, I am Brahman. I identify myself with the body. I become Jiva. See that? Fall. The fall of Brahman. Fall of ultimate, the thing, into Mamayeva Amso Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Mamayeva Amsha. Krishna also confirms that. Hey, you are my Amsada. Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhutaha Sanatanaha. This is the definition. This Jiva by nature considers Ishvara to be essentially different from him. The Jiva, when we become Jiva, we start worship Ishvara. We consider Ishvara as different. I am totally different. Naturally, we get this kind of feel. Himself and herself. In one place, I brought himself. They came and they started fighting with you. Why only himself? Therefore, I added herself also. For Jiva, there is no him and her. Jiva is Jiva. Only the body has got all the difference. Anyway, for the safety purpose, only himself / herself. Okay. Very interesting. Jiva. So we are completely different from Ishvara. We think like that. Therefore, we build temple. We go to temple. We worship. We start with chanting stotras. After stotras, we take one big slip. Oh Lord, I want this car, this house, this land. And my son should get this university seat. My daughter should get nice place. She has to get marry in nice family. All this. The list will be before the stotra. After stotra, the list will come. We think always we are different from the Lord. Therefore, we go to temple or we worship. We want to get always something from the Lord, Almighty Lord. You are Almighty, all powerful. You are Aishwaryavan. I'm not asking all the Aishwarya. Give me little. So we are very comfortable. Keep ourselves completely away from the Lord. Always go and worship. This is our relationship with the Lord. If I go and ask from my friend, first time he gives, next time he is not giving. If I come and ask you, go to particularly Tirupati. Tirupati panna Tirupam varum. He said, you go to Tirupati, you get turning point in your life. Oh Lord, I want this and that. So we are always thinking away from the Lord. Okay, this is our nature. This is how we are living. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, He himself says, this is a translation of his English, Sanskrit code, Sanskrit verse. Okay. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Why we are completely different from the Ishvara? What makes this difference? And he brings the idea. The truth conditioned by avidya, truth is conditioned by avidya, is called Jiva. Okay, Jiva. Same truth, when it's conditioned by Maya, that is called Ishvara. Simple. Only one truth. One Sattva Chitta Ananda, all pervading truth, only one. So we are not calling it Brahman or Atman now. We are calling it generally truth. The truth conditioned by avidya becomes Jiva. The same truth conditioned by Maya, it is called Ishvara. The truth is conditioned. Okay. Small unit. The small unit is called avidya. And a very massive unit is called Maya. That's all. Okay. Now, Jiva is conditioned by avidya, Ishvara conditioned by Maya. Interesting thing, Jiva doesn't have any freedom to overcome this kind of avidya. But Ishvara, one who rules the Maya. Now here, avidya is ruling Jiva. Ishvara is ruling Maya. Therefore, he has become Ishvara. Okay, Ishvara has got the power to rule the Maya, and we don't have any power to rule avidya. But avidya is ruling us. Is it okay? Okay. Their difference is due to the conditioning. That's all. Different conditioning. Avidya and Maya. Okay. Okay, you understood. Slowly, we'll, if you don't understand, just leave it. Move forward. After some time, if you come back and read, you will understand. Okay. Why oneness is necessary? Why we have to become one with the Lord, Almighty Lord? Now, our topic is oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. Why we have to become one? The question comes. Now, as long as the notion that the Jiva and Ishvara are essentially different remain, different. Till then, there is no redemption from samsara. So, we will not get away with the redemption from samsara. Samsara, mokshatvam will not come. From samsara, moksha will not come. As long as we have difference between Jiva and Ishvara, which is in the form of repeated birth and death. It gives us birth and death. Even though we are the greatest devotee of the Lord, maybe we are greatest devotee. You are the devotee of the Lord, you are the devotee, that's all. You have not achieved this kind of knowledge, becoming one with Brahman. There also we have to take birth. Getting it? So purpose of devotion, purpose of becoming devotee, we have to become one with that Brahman. Otherwise, there is no purpose of having devotion in our heart. You getting it? Yeah. Purpose of karma, purpose of bhakti, purpose of jnana, the jiva should become one with the Almighty Lord. Otherwise, there is no use of having bhakti, karma, jnana. Otherwise, we can say in this way. So we are not attaining the oneness. So attaining the oneness is a goal of life. Is it okay? Not only we have to realize our Atman. So one thing we have to understand. I realized I am Aham, Atma. No, that is not the complete knowledge. So when we realize this Atma should unite with this Brahman. Jiva Brahma Aikya is very important. You getting it? Aham Brahmasmi is a realization. We have to become one with that Brahman. So oneness is very important. We have to become one. The goal of life. One with the Lord. See the goal of life. So goal of life and Sanatana Dharma is not going to heaven and enjoy. You kill here so many people and you get so many girls there to enjoy. Not a concept. What kind of concept? People are, you kill so many people and you have heaven. What is this? You kill and you get heaven now. What is this? When you kill, you have to go to Narakaloka only. How can you go to heaven? It's illogical. And you convert so many people, you get heaven. What is this? You change so many people's life from Sanatana Dharma to take them to the forest, destroy their life, you get heaven. If you do good action, you will get good result. If you do bad action, bad result. Very scientific. When I do bad action, definitely I will go to Naraka. When I do good action, definitely I will go to Swarga. Even here itself, we see that. Even a company, if I work honestly, I'll get a very higher place. If I make mistake, the company will send us. From the company, how to get out? Very simple logic. So our goal is not going to anywhere, any world to enjoy the pleasures, the liberation. Enjoying pleasure is Swarga. And getting out that completely from that pleasure also, it's moksha. Moksha is more than Swarga. Okay? In Swarga, we are enjoying the pleasure. In the moksha, the bliss itself. You understood, okay? The oneness is important. Now, this is what we are doing in our life. Taking birth and death. The nice circle, the ocean becomes, the ocean is evaporating and becomes cloud, again rain, again, note that, coming through this river, again to the ocean, again evaporate, the same way we are. Birth and death cycle. Why should I become one with the Brahman, you tell me? Sir, as long as you are living as a jiva, separated from the Lord, you have to go like this, dar, dar, dar. Birth and death. Okay, this is scientific, very nice science circle. Otherwise, you have to take like this one. Every birth you have to take, you have to become like this old man. Nobody will bring water. They will look at you and they will go. After some time, it will settle down. We have to take birth like this. When we take birth, if we cry, again they will bring pacifier. Polak. They will not see what is biting this child. Polak. Whenever you cry, pacify. And whenever you cough, nobody will. Bhartam kopina prichati gehe. Nobody will ask. So from birth, this is the year you have to go to school. Then you have to get married. Problem. After marriage, you have to get some loan. Again, problem. So birth and death. When we become one with Brahman, there is no birth and death. So till then we have to take birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, iha samsare bahutustare, kripaya apare pahi murare. Very brilliant sloka from Bhajagovind. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So we have to go the cycle of birth and death. If you want to avoid punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, then we have to get the Brahma Vidya. We have to become one with the Brahman. Okay? Now, our Buddha also brought this idea. I want to get freedom from old age, disease and death. Three powerful things. So Buddha experienced, he has seen in his life. What is this? Old age. First time he is seeing is in his life. Old age. What is this? Death. What is it? Disease. Will I get? Yes, you also will get. Why? You also have a physical frame body. The young Siddhartha was asking, what is this? I have to get out of this. How can I get out of this? Then you have to go and search knowledge and you have to get enlightened. So Gautama has become Buddha, enlightened. So till we realize that we have to go through this old age, this is death, repeatedly in every birth, we have to get out of this problem. It's called liberation. This is what we have studied. What we have studied so far is this only. Okay? You go and read, you will understand. Right. Now, oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. Okay. I understand I have to become one with the Brahman. Almighty Lord, the Ishvara, whatever you call. So I have to become one. How I have to become one? So this technique we have to understand. Hiranyakashipu also told, Ishvaroham, Hiranyakashipu. Lord Narasimha came and he killed him. Suppose if I say, Ishvaroham, somebody will come and kill us. Hiranyakashipu told like that. He was killed. So how we have to understand the oneness of or that Jiva is a Brahman. So this technique is called what that Atma Vidya and Brahma Vidya. So slowly we will move. Okay? How to understand? Aham Brahmasmi means what? Now I am not Brahmasmi. I am not Brahmasmi. People are scolding and whatever I do, they are scolding it. You are not Brahman, you are Rakshasa. So you are behaving like an Asura. How can I understand I am Brahman? Now, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya brings slowly he is unfolding. Now, Jiva. First, we have to study ourselves, then we have to study about Ishvara, then we have to connect the Ishvara and Jiva. So, Jiva, the conditioning of the Jiva is avidya. Condition means upadhi. It brings us down. That which is brings us down from higher level to lower level. That's conditioning, avidya. Okay. So when we are conditioned by avidya, then we have that ego with ego. Sahankarasya. Suddenly we get ego. I notion we get. Sahankarasya. And we have a limited knowledge. Every jiva has got only limited knowledge only. Katshad kaiman alavu, we say. Known as drop, unknown as ocean. We study only little. We know only little. Alpajnasya, alpajna. Alpa means little. Not Tamil alpam. Tamil alpam means totally different. This is Sanskrit alpam. Kinchit. Very little we know. Little knowledge, limited knowledge and limited power. Alpa Shaktiman. So we have ahankara. Sahankarasya alpajnasya alpa Shaktiman. They are very alpa Shakti. We do not have power like Hercules. We studied. We was taking the whole world like this when we studied in small school. Alpa Shaktiman. Only 3 times we cannot eat. 4th time, if we don't eat, finished. 4 people will come to take us from the home. Alpa Shakti. Okay? This is the Jiva. Okay, now, moving to Ishvara. What is the Ishvara? Who is Ishvara? Ishvara is conditioned by Maya. So Maya is Upadhi for Ishvara. Ishvara is without ego. There is no ego, Ishvara. But when Krishna says that, I pervert this world, from me everything has come, Krishna, Bhagavad Gita is filled with ego only. 10th chapter, full of ego. You see me here, I am Surya, I am Chandra. So that is not ego. Without attaching with the ego, he is talking like that. The ego, which is the notion which is pulling us from higher level to lower level, is called ego. The notion, they are not attached with this kind of ego. They simply speak, that's all. Okay? Without ego, Ishvara is without ego, an omniscient, all-knowing, omnipresent, all-pervading, omnipotent, all-powerful. The 3 words. All-knowing, sarvajnaha, all-pervading. Sarvajnaha, sarvavyapi, sarvashaktiman. He has got that kind of power. Is it okay? Ishvara, the Lord of the universe, conditioned by Maya, his nature is like that. Okay? So the nature of Ishvara, sarvajnaha, sarvavyapi, sarvashaktiman. The nature of Jiva, with ego, alpajna, alpashaktiman, alpavyapi. This is, so we are Jiva. This is our nature and this is Ishvara's nature. Is it okay? Now, shall we move forward? Are you okay? Now, how can there be identity between Jiva and Ishvara? Now we have studied who is Jiva, who is Ishvara. How can there be identity? He is totally different. I am totally different. My nature is like this. I am living in the house, home. He is living in the big palace, temple. Rajaraja Chola, he built a big temple. When I go to Brihadishwara, oh, Ishvara is Brihat. Therefore, his name is Brihadishwara. I go to Rameshwara, very big, Ayurankal Mandapa. 1,000 pillars. The mandapa is 1,000 pillars. In my house, only 4 pillars. I am sitting there. Alpa Shakti. Lot of the universe. How can I become Ishvara? Okay, this is the question. So Jiva is conditioned by avidya, Ishvara is conditioned by Maya. Is it okay? Because we have to remember these words. Simple words. Now, Jiva is like a drop of the water, Ishvara is like ocean. This is a drop of water only. Okay, Jiva is a drop. Ishvara is ocean. Where is ocean? Where is drop? How can you say that I am Ishvara? First time I'm hearing, I'm not able to digest this truth. But our scriptures are telling, Upanishad is telling, hey, you are Brahman. When I hear first time, huh? Me? Oh, no. No, never. I never become Brahman. You are that Brahman. Understand this. You are not Alpam. You are Brahman. The frog is living in this small well. Frog is living in a small well. And is thinking that this well is everything. Another frog, big frog, is coming from the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. It comes and takes this frog. Come with me. No, I have family. Hey, sure, come with me. You can come back again. Come with me. So it is taking this. The realized frog is taking this jiva slowly, and takes this jiva to the top or the peak of the mountain. And says, close your eyes. Slowly drags the mountain. Open your eyes. At the peak of the mountain. And there's a small frog, family frog, samsari frog. Opens. Oh, ocean. I never had this kind of, in my life, I never seen this kind of ocean in my life. What is ocean? Where it is starting, there is no starting point. Where it ends, there is no end. Everywhere. Okay? In the same way, when you say this is jiva, it's a drop, because we identify with the body. Drop. Ishvara is all pervading. So how can this drop will become ocean? That is our question. Okay. In the same way, how can this the firefly, many puja, firefly. So it has got the fire at the tip of the tail. Nicely created by the Almighty Lord. Maybe to understand this kind, to bring this kind of example, to understand Jiva Ishvara, he must have created this. Firefly has got light, and sun also has got light. Ishvara is sun. How can you compare firefly with Ishvara? I am firefly. Ishvara is like sun. How can a Jiva will become Ishvara? This is the point. Okay? The two examples we understood. Now, we ask question, how can I become Brahman? That's our question. Now he is going to explain. I will explain, you understand in this way you are that one. We have 4 Vedas. From 4 Vedas, there are so many Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas means not a big paragraph. The very big or the sentence is not Mahavakya. The sentence is very short sentence only, but it explains the connection between Ishvara and Jiva. Therefore, this is called Mahavakya. Because of the subject matter, it is called Maha. Maha means the great. So it's not physically, it is you have to write Mahavakya in 1 paragraph without any break, without any gap. If you write this Mahavakya, no. Literally, we should not understand like that. Mahavakya means the subject matter. What is the highest subject in the universe? Ultimate subject. Connecting Jiva with Ishvara. Great subject. Therefore, the sentences which is bringing the connection between Jiva and Ishvara is called Mahavakya. That's all. How many Mahavakyas? So many Mahavakyas we have. But our ancestors, the great rishis and saints, they selected only 4 for our study. One from Rigveda, it is there in Aitreya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma, 1 Mahavakya. The second Mahavakya from Yajurveda, we find it in Brihadaranya Upanishad, Aham Brahmasmi. The third Mahavakya from Samaveda, Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvamasi. All the Mahavakyas we find in Upanishads only. The fourth Mahavakya from Atharvana Veda, Mandukya Upanishad, I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. This is Mahavakyas. There are so many Mahavakyas are there. Tattvameva, Tvameva Tat. So you can find so many Mahavakyas. But they selected traditionally, all Acharyas, they are recommending this. Please go through the 4 Mahavakyas and reflect on this. You will get liberation. This is more than enough for Jiva to get liberation. Particularly in this Tattvabodha, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya has taken this Mahavakya, the third one, Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi means that thou art, you are that Brahman. Because Upadesha Vakya, you have to do Upadesha. To do Upadesha for the student, you have to take this kind of thing. Aham Brahmasmi is Anubhavakya. So after attaining the Upadesha, I reflect, I meditate, and I realize, when I realize, I will say Aham Brahmasmi. When I get information from the teacher should say, you are that Brahman, Tattvamasi. Therefore, this is the Tattva Bodham is teaching us. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya is teaching us, you are that Brahman. So therefore, we have selected, he has selected Tattvamasi here. So he is going to do Tattvamasi, Mahavakya, Vichara. Simple Vichara, you can understand. It's very easy. You are that Brahman. Okay? Upadesha Vakya. This Vakya is Upadesha Vakya. You find in Samavedas, Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvamasi, that thou art. Now, we studied this already, okay? This is very familiar to us. Jiva is conditioned by avidya. And Jiva with ego, Alpagnya, Alpashaktiman. Is it okay? Now, we are the Jiva. So it is telling about us only. You should not look at this slide is for you. No. This slide is for me. Not for other person. It's for me. Every individual should understand this slide. You should not look at Jiva. They are calling you. Every individual is Jiva. Okay. So Jiva is identified with avidya and it becomes like this. This nature. Now, every Jiva has got this truth inside. You agree? Whether we agree or not, the truth is inside. The truth inside Jiva is called Atma. Now you are giving the name Atma. Same truth, okay? The truth inside the Jiva is called Atma. Because we are identified with avidya, we become Jiva and our nature will become like this. This is our biography. So inside every Jiva, every individual, whether it's animal or bird or human being, whoever it may be, if it's Jiva, the inner core nature of the Jiva is Atma. That's all. Okay? Right. Now, this Atma, when you call this, when you take this Jiva, okay? Jiva. This is called Tvam Pada. This Jiva is called Tvam. In Tattvamasi, you split the word Tat, Tvam, Asi. The three words. The Tvam means you, Jiva. So Tvam means Jiva. This Tvam Pada means the word Tvam, you. Tvam Pada Vachyartha, Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. The two words, technical words is using. When I say that you are that Brahman, we should not understand with ego, with limited power, limited knowledge, I am Brahman. No. According to Vachyartha, we are not equal to Brahman. This is literally we should not take. Literally when we take I am Brahman, then we are expecting everyone, you do puja to me, okay? You take me in palanquin. You take that. I will not go that walk. So you have to consider me as Devata. Then there comes a problem. So literally when we understand, literally I am the body, I am with ego. Even though I am Alpagnya, you have to worship me. The understanding is totally wrong. This kind of people only creating problem in the society, the home. Why? Literally they understood. When we understand literally, this is Tvam Pada Vachyartha. When we understand this implied meaning, then this is Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. According to Lakshyartha only, we have to unite with the Brahman. According to Vachyartha, we are ordinary one. So we have to be very careful from which angle we are one with the Brahman. You getting it? Many people, you become Swami and you worship me, you take me in palanquin, and you have to consider you are Jiva, that's all. You studied something, you are walking in the path, the people are giving respect, that's all. We have to stop there itself. You should not, that person should not consider that I am Ishvara. That is a wrong understanding. Not only he is getting confused, he is confusing the whole society also. You're getting it? So when we study this kind of Vedantic text, we will become first clear about who is Jiva and who is saintly person, who is Ishvara. Very, very clear. Is it okay? So literal meaning is called Vachyartha. The implied meaning is called Lakshyartha. Two words just to keep in your mind. That's all. You keep and forget it. So I have to introduce this word Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. Therefore I introduced. Otherwise I don't want to introduce. Simply you can understand without this also. Okay. But you have to hear this word. Therefore I brought it here. Literal meaning and implied meaning. The implied meaning, who are you? Aham, Atma. Literally, according to literal meaning, who are you? I am Jiva. Are you getting it? So literally if I say I am Jiva. Implied meaning I means Atma. Are getting it in two ways we can present ourselves. Okay. So you go to office, the manager is asking, why you didn't come for 2 days? I am Atma, I am everywhere. Where I am coming, where I am going. Implied meaning, he says. Get out from the company. You have some mental problem, get out. There, we should not bring Lakshyartha. Implied meaning. There is, I have fever. Some problem. So, literal meaning only have, because he is asking literal questions, literal meaning. We have to identify with the body and we have to answer it. So when our teacher, the great saints are asking about that, there we have to bring a Saham Atma. There we have to use this implied meaning. You getting it? So where to use literal meaning, where to bring this implied meaning. So literal is called Vachyartha, implied is called Lakshyartha, that's all. You getting it? Get it. Now come to Ishvara. Ishvara is identified with Maya, conditioned by Maya, becomes Ishvara. This is his nature. Sarvajñatva, Sarva Vyapakatva, Sarva Shaktimatva. That is his nature, without ego. Okay, we have studied this. Ishvara's inner nature is Brahman. Are you getting it? The Ishvara's inner, the truth is called Brahman. If you take individual truth is called Atma. Ishvara's truth is called Brahman, but both are same only. Only the name is getting changed according to the size, that's all. If a drop is called, drop is not ocean, drop is drop, because according this size is drop, this size is ocean, but both are H2 only. In H2O aspect, whether it is drop or ocean, both are same. This is implied meaning. But drop is different, ocean is different. You getting it? In one way, both are different. In one way, both are same. The way by which they are becoming different, okay, literal meaning. The way by which they become one, other implied meaning. Getting it? In H2O aspect, drop and ocean both are same. The size both are different. Getting it or not? That's all. You understood. The same. The light aspect, when you compare this light aspect with the firefly and the sun, both are the same. But firefly is different, sun is different. In one way, they are different, and another way, both are same. That's all. You got it. Getting it? Now, in the same way, the truth of the truth behind Ishvara, the truth behind Jiva, same. The truth in us, Atma, the truth in Ishvara is Brahman. Brahman and Atma both are same. You getting it? Literally, when you say Ishvara, literal meaning Vachyartha and implied meaning Lakshyartha. That's all. This is Tatpada. Ishvara is indicated by Tat because it's there somewhere else. Tat, Adu. That. We are here, therefore Tvam, you. So you are, that means, you means Tvam. That means Tat. So this Tatpada Vachyartha means literal meaning of the Ishvara, all pervading. He is giving blessings and he is creating, he is dissolving everything. Very busy person. What is the nature of the Ishvara? Brahman, Lakshyartha. You getting it? Yeah, you got it. Got it. Now, bring this together. Now this is very important. This is a slide, the core slide of Tattva Bodha. If you understand this, then we finish the class. Then you must have brought this sloka first day itself, this slide. Why you brought today? First day, if you would have completed, Tattva Bodha is over. No, to come to this level, we have to need more information. All the subjects we have to study to come to this slide is core slide. Now, this Jiva, okay, bound by this bondage. But Avidya, his conditioning, okay? His name is Jiva. His nature is with ego, Alpajñatva, Alpashaktiman. Is it okay? Okay? Ishvara is conditioned by Maya and without ego, Sarvajñatva, Sarva Shaktimatva, Sarva Vyapakatva is nature. So Ishvara's nature is Om. Okay, Om indicated this truth. He has got truth, inner nature. Jiva also has got inner nature. His inner nature is called Atma. Ishvara's inner nature is called Brahman. Are you getting it? Getting it? So, Ishvara has got Vachyartha, Ishvara has got Lakshyartha. Vachyartha means what? Literal meaning. Ishvara means Ishvara. So, what is the nature of Ishvara? Lakshyartha, Brahman. Jiva's Vachyartha, Jiva. Literal meaning. Jiva's, what that? Implied meaning, Om, Atma. Getting it? So, according to Vachyartha, Tumpada, this is Tatpada. Tat means Ishvara. Tum means you. So, you are not what that Ishvara, according to Vachyartha. Literally, if you come together, you are not that. You getting it? According to Vachyartha, Tumpada, Tatpada, both are different only. Both are different. You are completely different. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says Ishvara is Ishvara because he is Sarvajñatva, Sarva Shaktimatva, Sarva Vyapakatva. You never become Ishvara. Literally speaking, you are totally different from Ishvara. Tatpada Vachyartha, Tumpada Vachyartha. According to Vachyartha, you are different. Getting it? He is there in the temple, you are there. You should not say that I am Ishvara. Literally, you identify with the body, you cannot say Ishvara. When I identify with the body, I had to worship the Lord. Okay? According to Vachyartha, totally we are different. According to Lakshyartha, okay? Tumpada Lakshyartha, Tatpada Lakshyartha. I am equal to this. I am that, and he is none other than my own nature. Here only we have the Aham. Aham Brahmasmi. My nature is nothing but Brahmasmi. So, Tumpada Lakshyartha, Tatpada Lakshyartha, in that Lakshyartha, we are, both are same. You getting it? He is a drop and he is ocean. Drop, ocean is totally different. Firefly, sun, totally different. But H2O, H2O, same. Light, light, same. You getting it? So according to implied meaning, we both are same. According to literal meaning, we are totally different. You know what kind of the teaching, what kind of knowledge? Whenever we identify with the body, we become Alpam. Whenever we identify with the Atma, we become Bhuma. So where is our attention? There comes whether we are a spiritual sadhak or ordinary samsari. When we identify with this, we come down. Samsara. When we identify there, we become Bhuma. Spirit, spiritual person, the saintly person. You getting it? So here you have to say Atma, there you have to say Brahman. Are you getting it? So I am Atma, Brahman. This Atma is none other than the Brahman itself. I am Atma, Brahma. Mandukya Upanishad. Mahavakya. Tattvamasi. When Guru says Tat, you are that. When I realize, yes, Aham Brahmasmi. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. Prajnanam Brahma. The Jnanam inside is nothing but Brahman only. The Brahman is inside. Very interesting topic. You highest truth of the universe. Highest truth. See the connection between myself and Ishvara. Now see. Now, one more point. One more point we have to be very clear, okay? Now, Jiva and Ishvara is not equal, okay? Jiva is not equal. So we cannot say Jiva, Ishvara, Aikya. Jiva, Ishvara, Aikya will never happen. Okay, so Atma, Brahma, Aikya. Are you getting it? Atma, Brahma, Aikya. Getting it? Atma and Brahma will become one. Jiva and Ishvara will never become one. The term is very important. Ishvara means one who is creating, ruling the whole world. Jiva means identify. The Jiva, Ishvara is not equal. Atman and Brahman is same. Sometimes, how we are using in the scriptures, Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Are you getting it? Jiva Brahma Aikyam. You must have heard the word. Jiva Brahma Aikyam. So Jiva Brahma Aikyam means the word they are using, but Jiva's nature and Brahman. Okay, we have to understand like that word. Jiva Brahma Aikyam means Vishnu. They are telling Jiva, here they are telling Brahman. How can Jiva will become Brahma? You understood what is literal meaning, what is implied meaning. Thereafter, they are using the word that's all. That we should not. How many people have come? Or 1,000 people must have come for the party. Actually, 600 people only came. How we had 1,000 people came. Okay. So when we talk, Jiva Brahma Aikyam, Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. Okay. Sometimes you find this kind of word. But even though you find the word, we understood Jiva's nature is different, Ishvara's nature is different. Firefly, sun. Literally, we are different, but implied, we are both. That's all. But Atma, we have to use the Atma, the word, whenever we are referring the body. The Brahman, we have to use whenever we are referring the Almighty Lord and the universe. The truth in the universe is called Brahman. The truth inside the body is called Atma. But both are same. According to the place we are using the word. So Atman is none other than Brahman. Brahman is none other than Atma. Is it okay? This is very, very important slide. Okay. You understood this. That's all. According to Tompada Lakshyartha, this is Tatpada Lakshyartha. The Lakshyartham Pragaram, Atma and Brahman both are same. Getting the name I have brought here. Atma and Brahman. Atma means referred with Jiva. Brahman is referred with Jagat. That's all. Okay. When we study the truth, referring to Jagat, who created this Jagat? What a glorious Jagat. When we study the truth, reference with the Brahman, the Jagat, the truth is called Brahman, therefore it's Brahma Vidya. When we study Jiva and the inner nature of Jiva, when we study this, called Atma Vidya. Both are same. The place is getting different. The subject matter we have taken universe to understand the truth, the Brahma Vidya. The subject matter we have taken subtle body, gross body, and the causal body, Pancha Kosha, and Avastatraya. When we take this kind of subject, when you find the truth, this is called Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya means we are studying about Jiva. Brahma Vidya means we are studying about creation. That's all. But both are same only. This is Lord Vigneshwara, this is Lord Muruga in that knowledge, fruit of knowledge. Okay, see the story how they brought fruit of knowledge. You understand? This is very, very important slide. Okay, very simply you can understand this picture. You understood this. You understood, I know you understood. This is very clear. Okay, so this avidya is controlling us. This avidya is controlling us. Avidya is controlling us. Here, Jiva is controlling Maya. So when we take that birth, it is birth. Why? According to avidya only we take birth. Here, Ishvara is taking birth, but he is controlling Maya and taking birth. When he comes down, Avatara. When we come down, Janma. Avidya only decides who is your father, who is your mother, what is your color, what is your height, weight, how many years you are going to live. Through so many people you are going to get problem, and how much problem you are going to give, all this decided by avidya. But here, Lord only decides, this is my father, this is my Pitaram Rochayamas. Rama decides, oh, but Dasartha is my father now. Rama decides. Vasudeva is my father now. He decides. Sometimes there is no need to father. From pillar I can come. Narasimha Avatara. No need to have father and mother. Pillar no. Damar. Why? Maya, I control Maya. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujami. There is no need of Brahmaji here. I can come, I can appear myself. This is avatar. Why? He is the Lord of the Maya. So he controls Maya. Here, avidya controls us. This is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. So what Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says, why you are suffering like this and going to temple and asking something, say, hey, come out. Understand your nature. His nature. You are richest person in the universe. Your nature. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya is making us richest person in the world. You are living here and having power, position, money, and you are thinking, I am rich. Imperishable, impermanent. Go to your own nature. Unite with him. You are number one. You are ultimate. This is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving us the knowledge. What kind of knowledge he is giving us, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya? Suppose scientist giving some, one more thing, you see, Vedanta is very powerful. No knowledge, this is ultimate knowledge in the universe. If you are getting convinced, we identify with the body, we become Jiva, and we go to some saintly person. The saintly person is solving our problem. Because he has got some magical power, Siddhi. So why people are behind the person who has got Siddhi? But he can solve my problem. He gives something. He's creating magic. We are completely caught up with this kind of magical person going behind him and very attractive. Sir, actually this kind of magic will spoil the Jiva's intellect. Krishna is not appreciating this kind of magic. You go and study 11th canto of Bhagavad, Kalakshapana Hetavaha. This will take more time to understand Vedanta if you are identified or attracted by magic and all. Because the saint should do some magic, I will go behind him and he has to do something. My problems are solved. So I became devotee of him. Our intellect is locked. Why? So we are very much comfortable with the Jiva stand and you are going behind the saint. Saint means he has to solve my problem by touching on my head. Sir, you are going down. Actually, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, our Gurudev and all, great saint, they never show this kind of magic. Why if I show you magic, you are completely there, you will not come out, your intellect never opens. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda, teaching. Are you getting the point? This is a very subtler point. So we have to come out from that kind of thing. You're getting it? So the magic is we are caught up. The highly intellectual thing is you learn the knowledge, you come out, magic is making us live more and more in Jivahood. He says, break it, come up, you understand your nature. You are nothing but this great Brahman. Okay? Therefore, Krishna is not appreciating it. Krishna would have touched Arjuna, magic, bush. Get it? Why 18 days war? In one day I will finish everything, all magic. Mercy, very, very practical person, Krishna. He never used this kind of thing. I used all this magics wherever it is needed, but when you come with the evolution level, wherever the evolution comes, whether he talks with Krishna and Arjuna, whether he speaks with our Uddhava, complete intellectual. I hope you are getting that line. This is very minute line in our life. Therefore, so this is our karma, we will suffer. Why I need to have magic this and that? If you are attracted with the magic, finished. Your path is totally different. Bhagavan Adi Shankara, hey, magic and all is not good. The saintly person means one who gives message. That message I take, or that come out from my body, mind, and like permanent solution is giving Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya. Permanent solution. Otherwise, every janma I need to have some saint and he has to solve my problem. I will become his devotee. I think you have to understand this part of the saintly person, what I'm explaining to you, okay? This message I have given, then you just reflect and live. You never attracted by this kind of touching my head and solve my problem. All my problem comes because of my karma. I will deal it. You give me the knowledge. I reflect, I know my nature, I become one with Brahman, I get liberated. Perfect path. Perfect path. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, what kind of knowledge he is giving us? Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, highest person. Okay? We are like a part inside the part space, outer part space. Outer space, the outer space is called Brahman, inside the space is called Atman, that's all. So what we have to do, we have to break the part. When we break the part space will become endless space, that's all. So while we are living, when we understand part space is nothing but outer space, while we are living, this is called Jivan Muktata. When part breaks, then this is called Videha Mukti, that's all. We dissolve the body and we become one with Brahman. Getting it? So this is called the connection between Jiva and Ishvara. We are always connected with the Brahman. All the relationship, whatever we get in our life are temporary relationship. When we die, we will forget all people. When we die, all people are going out of our mind. We do not know where we lived, how many relationships, the family we had in the past, everything is forgotten. Here also we are living with so many people. If somebody comes and breaking a relationship, it's okay. Anyway, one day when I come, I'm going to forget you. Now itself I forget you. Okay, get out. If people are not liking you, it's okay. Some people are fighting with you, it's okay. And they are breaking, it's okay. No need to worry about it. Because so many hundreds of people are coming in our life, they are going. We are forgetting so many people. We are remembering so many people. So constant relationship, whether we know it, we do not know it, our relationship with the Lord is always constant. What kind of relationship? Suhram sarva bhutanam nyatvam mam shanti mrichati. Krishna says, I am the greatest friend of every jiva. If one understands, he gets peace. He will not go behind other relatives. All are selfish kind of relationship only. This relationship is eternal and it gives us liberation. Okay? And the water in the space, the part in the space, part space and outer space. Suppose we keep the part there in the water. Suppose you merge this part in the ocean. The water inside the pot, water outside the pot, both are same. Getting it? When you keep in the space, part space, outer space. Suppose we merge this pot in the ocean. The part inside the ocean, the water inside the pot, water outside the pot. Only one ocean. So what is conditioning there? Only part. Even the ocean, when you break the part, the water inside the pot will become one with ocean. That's all. Okay? You got it. That's a very nice thing. Why Lord Shiva has got third eye? Lord Shiva has got third eye and two eyes. Symbolic meaning. This is the eye of knowledge. Eye of knowledge kept here, symbolically. So when you open these two eyes, okay? Whenever you open this, it is closed. This is closed. Okay? When you open this two eyes, Jiva Ishvara Beda Drishti. Always we see Beda. Jiva is different, Ishvara is different with the eye of muscles. When you open the eye of knowledge, Jiva Ishvara Abheda Drishti. There is no Jiva, there is no Ishvara. Only Atman and Brahman. Only one Brahman. That's all. Therefore, this kind of the three eyes are kept for Lord Shiva. We also should get, whenever you open this eye, opening means what? The eye of knowledge. It's not opening here. After, I think tomorrow, the eye is getting open. Literally, it's the implied meaning. We get eye of wisdom. When you get eye of wisdom, when we understand the truth, Abheda Drishti, there is no difference. When you close this, when you open this, Beda Drishti. Is it okay? Okay. Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and Shankaracharya. This is a very nice kind of thought. You have to understand this. Madhvacharya lived in 13th century. His philosophy is Dvaita. Bhagavan Ramanujacharya, he lived in 11th century, Visishta Dvaita. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, 8th century, Advaita Acharya. Number one, first he came, next he appeared, and next he appeared. All these great acharyas belongs to Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism. Our acharyas, no need to fight. No need to fight. When you become Advaiti, you accept everything. Glory of Advaita. Everything works. Everything is included in Advaita. So all are our acharyas, no need to have fight and difference of opinion. Okay? And he said Tattvamasi. He also says Tattvamasi. He says, you are that Brahman. He says, you are that Brahman, you become part of Brahman. He says, Brahman is different from you, but you have the aspect of Brahman. He says, both are one. He says, no, you are in him. He says, both are different, but you have the divinity. These are the philosophies they made. To understand his philosophy, minimum 4 years to 5 years we have to spend time. Every philosophy takes 4 to 5 years to study and understand. Now you are going to understand this in few minutes. Is it okay? See this fellow. Okay. Suppose you understand this fruit is jiva, okay? and this boy is Brahman. The boy is Brahman, the fruit is Jiva. This is Jiva, this is Brahman. What Advaita, our Madhvacharya says, so you have connection. Fruit has got connection with the body. So when you eat, the body grows. And it gets strength. The fruit has got connection with the body. Food and body. There is connection. There is connection with Ishvara. Jiva has got connection with Ishvara. Natural connection. You are connected, but you are different. Jiva is different, you are different. You getting it? Dvaita philosophy. Visishta Madhva Ramanuja Acharya comes, you take food. Suppose the boy eats food, okay? Fruit. He will get fruit here. Inside the stomach, fruit goes. There, our Ramanuja Acharya comes. And if you eat fruit, where is the fruit? Fruit becomes part of the body. Therefore, you are the part of the Ishvara. You are not that one of the, you are part of the Ishvara. You are in him. You become Anga. You think this is Ramanuja Acharya. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya comes. After 4 hours or 5 hours, where is this fruit? Disappeared and becomes one with the whole system body. This is Advaita. You getting it? One apple, this is the Ishwar, Brahman, Jiva. So Jiva becomes one after 4 or 5 years. Advaita. For 5 hours, Advaita. So when we eat, it is there inside the stomach, not getting digested, okay? And Visishta Advaita. You become part of the Lord. And he says there is a connection, but you are different from Ishwar. Dvaita philosophy. Whoever likes whichever form, they take this and they move forward. That's all. There is no need to fight. Okay, this is the glory of Sanatana Dharma. Our Swami Vivekananda and Chinmayanji, these 2 greatest Vedantis, the practical people who brought Vedanta from Himalayas to the common man and brought great revolution in the religion, the spirituality. These 2 people are thinking and they are telling, Ramanuja, you have to start your life, your journey of spirituality from Madhvacharya. I am different from the Lord. Then you have to grow. Ramanuja, I think I am part of him. You have to grow. And you have to reach Advaita. Yes, I am that Brahman. So then these great saints are coming, the modern saints, they are coming. Don't get that difference. These 3 people are our people only. So you have to start with Madhvacharya, grow with Ramanujacharya, attain the goal of Shankaracharya. That's all. Therefore, we need to have Swami Vivekananda, Swami Chinmayanji to guide us in the proper way. When we study, we never fight with Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. Our people only, you take them. You have to have not only Adi Shankaracharya, his photograph also should be with us. His photograph, all are our acharyas, different philosophies. Sanatana Dharma. This is how the modern saints are teaching us how to lead our life. Is it okay? It's very nice sloka by our Hanuman. Hanuman. Once Rama asked Hanuman, hey Hanuman, how you consider me? Because they had time. After Ramanavada, nothing is there. And simply how to chat and talk. Hey Hanuman, how you consider me? Hanuman says, Deha buddhya dasoham jiva buddhya to namshakaha atma buddhya tvamevaham iti me nischitamati. This is my point. What? Hanuman told Ram at a stage, when I am identifying myself with the body, I am your servant. Okay, this is Dvaita philosophy. I am your servant, Dvaita. You are different, but I am your servant. I identify with my body. When I identify myself as a Jiva, I am part of you. This is Visishtadvaita. Okay? If I become Jiva, I am part of you. Oh Lord, when I identify myself with the self, myself with the Almighty Self, then I am you. This is Advaita. That's all. Powerful sloka, powerful concept of Hanuman's. What a great the message of Hanuman. This is what Hanuman says. All this in one place. Okay? This is what you have studied. Tattvamasi. What we have studied so far, it is written in Sanskrit. That's all. I'm not reading it and explaining it. Whatever you understood, that is there in Sanskrit. Okay? Now question comes. I'll take up the question answer. Now you are unknown. Now this is over. Jiva Ishvara concept is over. That's all. You understood. You understood, that's all. Then you brought your Dvaita, Advaita, and Visishta Advaita also, how to understand Tattvamasi. So according to Advaita philosophy, the literal meaning you have to drop, implied meaning we have to take. At the implied meaning level, Aham Atma, Aham Brahmasmi. At the literal level, I am Jiva, you are devotee. You are the Lord, I am the devotee. So at the literal meaning, there is no Aham Brahmasmi. The Lakshyartha only we become one. So we understood the core point of Advaita philosophy. Okay. Now you take any text all over the world, go and take, you will understand this is the fragrance you find in all the texts of Vedanta. You understood core. Is it okay? Okay. Now today's topic is over. Tomorrow we'll take up karma. So tomorrow there is no Ramayana class. I told that the organizer, Abhin, CIF, so they'll inform you tomorrow Saturday. So every Saturday we used to have Ramayana class. So we can shift Sunday and Monday we have 2 classes. So I need one more class to complete it. So the karma theory is ready. Tomorrow you will get very brilliant karma concept. Okay. So tomorrow, the last topic of Tattvabodha will complete tomorrow. Now Prakash, you can announce, then I'm getting ready. So I'll present the temple, then I will go to question and answer. Okay?
Yes,
you can announce. You can announce. You can announce.
Hari Om. So we're going to have a session tomorrow, and we'll send an email, and we'll use the same Zoom session for tomorrow's class also. And I just wanted to touch upon 2 things. Usually, me? Oh, yeah. Okay. How about now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, our Sanatana Dharma tradition of Guru Dakshina is a way of showing our respect and reverence to the Guru, and for all the knowledge they have imparted. And this is used, the money that comes out of Guru Dakshina is used to further the sharing of spiritual knowledge. And so based on this glorious tradition of Sanatana Dharma, I request you all to support the cause of our Guru Sishya Parampara generously by either clicking on this link or using this QR code. You can take a camera and then you take a picture of this and go to the form that will look like this. Go and enter all your information, and then there are 3 different ways of making the payment. You can use a PayPal or Venmo after entering your details, or you can make a check and send it to the address that is given in the form. I just put a portion of this form, so basically the address is listed in the actual form when you go to the when you click on that URL. And you also share this in the chat session, the link. The other thing I want to talk about is a lot of people were inquiring about Swamiji's excellent slides. And once Swamiji shares the presentation, we plan to send all the slides and other information that Swamiji is going to share with us to the email address that will be part of this form. So you can click on this form, enter your email address. Once you enter the email address, we will consolidate all of this and then send you the presentation. So those are the 2 announcements from which I wanted to make, and I don't want to take too much time, and people are enjoying your Q&A, so we'll just yield the floor to you so we can continue. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Okay. So now I'm in Tamil Nadu, this the south part of India, Tamil Nadu. I'm living in coastal area. So from here 2 kilometers I have beach. We have Chinmaya Vidyalaya here, 1,700 children are studying. big building and very big samsar. The children problem, parents problem, all. So there are so many things are there. Very busy with the school and other activities. Preparing this kind of slides for your class. Other than that, I visited 2-3 years back some deeper village, interior village. We have so many villages here, so many villages. So I went and I saw the condition of the temple. I wanted to clean the temple. First, I started cleaning the big temple, taking +1, +2 children, and they will get some mark certificate also. And afterwards, I met few people from village, and they showed me this temple is like that, and we have to complete it. 4 years back we started, and we could not complete it. Swami, you come and do something. What can I do this? I'm very busy with classes and that. So anyway, they started and left. Even if I leave this, that's okay. Why? Already it stopped only. So I have that kind of attitude and went and started this temple. Somehow by God's grace, I brought money came from all the sides. And people also supported from the village. And we made this temple like this in 3 months. So this was the condition of the temple. And I made this temple like this. Okay. And I got very nice tapati, nice team of priests, a nice team of people in the school where I'm living, good teachers team. And they run and go and they bring out that paint, tapati, all the tiles, the cement, all the things. It's organized and we could do it. So I'm not spending much time on this, going every day and visiting and taking it. It will not work because I have so many work here. But the team, I have a very nice team and they are taking care. We are able to finish so many temples like this. Okay, this is Kumbhabhishekam. The minimum requirement we brought for this temple, not building big or that mandala. So minimum, the tiles, tent, the sheet, what do you call, the small mandapa with the sheets and small temple. This is more than enough for the people to worship there. This is how we started working. And we used the human resource from the village itself because we can reduce the amount of labor. Okay. And people are very cooperate and they do whatever we say. And this is the Vinayaga temple. So we brought Vinayaga from Mahabalipuram near Chennai and started giving. Whenever I go and I give small talks, not this kind of Jiva, Ishvara, Aikya, Brahma. Ishvara is different, you are different. Go and make temple, worship him first. First Dvaita one. Slowly in many janmas they will come forward to understand what. So we have to retrain our people in our culture because all are very innocent people, this village people, retain. So we have to give some the center. So they will go around the center. First, they will not be getting converted. The poor place in the village only they are targeting and converting, and they are bringing their church under. So first, we have to go and build small temple. Let them engage them, retain the people. And next generation also will come and attach to the temple. Slowly, we will teach small things. Okay, and all these rituals we started doing it. And it's getting ready. Now, every temple will have our, what do you call this? Kalvet. Gurudeva name will be there. Okay, we started doing Kumbhabhishek. After 2-3 months, celebrations very interesting. Very nice kind of celebration. The temple was like that. Now see the people, how many people are. Now after 1 year, every Chaturthi, Sankarahara Chaturthi, people are very busy. They keep on sending me photos also after 1 year. So they have a connection with our school and mission now. So like this, okay, this is the temple of God. And we have to bring the next generation also and make them kavi, all kashaya vastra and rudraksha. They have to wear, retaining our culture, okay? Even though small child also have to tie. So you can get this from Mylapore temple and the shop. And from Devi Karumaremman, or the temple in Thiruvarkadu, you bring that kind of dollar and tie. From Palani also, okay? You tie this. The first temple. Second temple was like this. And people came and they heard about the first temple. The first temple, the village, okay? These people, their relatives were living there. And these people told these people came. My daughter is there in that village. And she only told that you completed that village. Can you come and do in our village? This is how the word spread. So many people are coming and we started doing it. This second temple, this is Devi temple, no statue inside. Okay, this was the condition. Okay, and we visited and we made, this is the final condition of the temple. Okay, this is the temple we finished in 3 months. Okay, Devi temple and so many works. Okay, and we have to have a meeting with the people, local people. We have to get their support. And they are all very, very support. This is Devi we brought from Mahabalipuram. Okay, every now and then you visit and you keep on watching. So what is the progress of the work? Okay, all the tales and the distance between the Devi and the Simha, all the things you have to measure. And the Stapati work. Okay, these are all the things we have to get from Kumbakoram. Kumbakoram is near to Nagapattinam where I am living. This temple also will have Kalvettu. And this is very nice team. And now we have very nice team also. I told them, I am getting money from our people. This is, I'm making the temple for the local village people. You have to reduce money. So all these people now, we have team of this, team of priest, and team of mason and painters. And this is the condition I have to make. I'm not getting money or spending money to get some money. Only this is what the service kind of organization. So they had very nice kind of understanding with that reasonable amount. They do this kind of service. Okay, and we started doing Kumbhabhishek, the nice celebration. Kumbhabhishek, you see all this, our villages are surrounded with this kind of green, the land or paddy land. Very nice, interesting time. This is Devi. With the 3.5 feet, very big, tall Devi. It's very difficult to handle her. Okay, and Kumbhabhishek, this Kumbhabhishek. And inside also we do Kumbhabhishekam, and for the Gopuram also we do. And we have to make sure that every temple should have Gurudev photo and our Taponji Maharaj photo. So wherever we go and build. So Devi, Gurudev and Taponji is there. This kind of the devatas also we have to bring for the local people. These are all their family deity, Kula Devata. So this is Periyachi. She is looking like Narasimha. She has got her own story. She also killed her. Almost like Narasimha Devata story only they are telling the local people. And the Veeran. The local people, village people are very much fond of this kind of Devata. Okay, this is a team with whom I worked there. And next one is, this temple is dilapidated. This temple people also came and they asked us, okay, and this is the final condition of this temple. Okay, this is the temple, Vellai Vinayagar. I can see the background, very nice background. See this background, okay, it was there in the forest and we made like this. This is the work we are doing in nearby village. Okay, this is Kumbhabhishek, the third temple. This time, this is Vellai Vinayagar. This is the original Vinayaka. He was there more than 100 years, the temple. So we renovated and brought our Gurudev, all tiles inside, tiles outside, and the tent also we made. Current connection also we have to bring. This is Lord Shiva temple. Now this is what we are doing now. So Lord Shiva is there under the tree, exposed himself to the sky, rain, sun. Always Shiva is like that only, sitting somewhere in the cremation ground. I mean, he will not have Pond's powder, Kutikora powder, or other kind of powder. He takes the powder from cremation ground and he sits there. So people came and told us, so many idols were broken and scattered everywhere. So we have collected, but we cannot do anything. Only Shiva can be renovated. And we brought other, this is all are innocent people in the village. Very, very innocent. Pure heart. They do not know anything. If you take initiative, they will come with you. That's all. Okay, this is the condition of the temple there. Completely temple have gone. The broken, the few, what do you call it, idols were there. This idol we cannot worship. Therefore, you have to keep him somewhere in the temple, and you have to bring the new one, new Vishnu, new Vinayaka, and new Devi for the temple. So you brought all these devatas from Mahabalipuram, and you bring these people, and we have started Bhumi Puja for the temple, and it's growing because of the rainy season. So the work is going very slowly this 10-15 days. Okay, and every now and then, this is the Lord who was sitting there under the tree. We renovated him. Very nice. This main thing we have taken. The bottom we made it. So we made separately, then we made him like this one. This is the main Devata, and other Devatas scattered, broken. So we can keep this Lord Shiva's main deity of the temple. Then other deities, whatever we brought from Mahabalipuram, we can keep as Parivar Devatas. Okay? Now, slowly it's getting up. This is the present condition now. And next to this temple near the river, we have to have Devi and Veeran and the Periyach. I have shown you, like Narasimhamurthy. This all the work is going on now. You see, this is the doll they will make like this. This is Periyach. This is frightening, but these devatas are very, very powerful. Okay, the work is going on. This is a third temple. We kept the name of Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha, our Gurudev name, for this project. Now this is the temple, one more temple, the work is going on. We have to get permission from government. This belongs to government. They are taking care. See how they are taking care of the government, this temple. You have to remove all the mandapam. We are getting all official permission. These children are from that village. Wherever we build the temple, from there only we are bringing these children to work for other temple nearby village. When I call, they will come, 20-30 people from that village. So we can utilize their power for the next village, next temple renovation. Okay, they're very good, but just you give them tea, coffee, and biscuit, and one lunch. They're very good people. So they can give their physical work. Okay, this was the condition of the temple. Then you have to make it. We are working on this temple also. The condition. Just lying down like this without even that oil, and you have to make like this. See the difference. So next to Vinayaka temple nearby our Nagapatnam, this also we are going to take up. After 20 days, one day I have to jump into this kind of activity. Now 3 more temples are ready. Okay, next this is Amman temple. 5 years back they started and kept like this. We have to go and complete it. This temple also came, and this temple I visited. Now see, only this left it, that's all. Because unable to take up the initiative and money problem, they keep like this only. So 3 more temples are ready now to finish. So this is the work I am doing here to retain our people in our culture, not getting into converted. Okay, now this is the 7th temple I am doing it. So 3 more temples are there. 1 more temple is also coming there. So I didn't visit now. So we have to take up and do it. So if you are interested, you join with me. We will do this work elaborately. Okay. People from so many centers, they are very good and they are cooperating, and they are sending very good amount of money also. If you are interested, then tomorrow I will give you the bank details, how to go about. Okay. You cannot send the money from foreign to India. So you can send money from Indian bank to Indian bank only. It's one more point. Is it okay? Is it what I'm doing other than the teaching? This kind of work is needed. We'll go to question answer. So I'll take few minutes to finish it. Okay. Already? Okay, va? Sleepy? Already started, huh? No? Okay. Right. Today's question. Rama Ramanujam, in Gita, chapter 13, Arjuna asks Kshetra and Kshetrajna, 13th chapter. Does Kshetrajna refers to both Brahman and Ishvara in this context? The Kshetrajna, Brahmana, Ishvara. So you have to understand that. First we'll see. This is a Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhagyo. This sloka from. First sloka. Idam shariram kaunde kshetramit abhidiyate yeta dyobeti tam prahu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Kshetrajna. This body is kshetra. Inside the body, kshetrajna, atma. Now you can understand. Getting it? So to go and read the scripture as it is, you need to have prayer study. Now you studied Atma Bodham because Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya brought so many preliminary texts. You be thorough with preliminary text, then only you can understand the scriptures directly. Otherwise, without studying the preliminary, if you come there, Kshetra is completely confusing. How to understand it? Therefore, the preliminary study is very, very important. Now you can understand this body is a Kshetra. The inside the body, the truth is called Kshetrajna. This is nothing but Jiva and Atma. Now you can understand. Only terms are getting changed. Are getting it? Therefore, the preliminary text study is very, very important. 13th chapter, Kshetra means this body, Kshetrajna means Atma. And he says, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajnayo jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. He says, not only I am living in one body, I live in all other the frames, bodies. That means I am Paramatma, I am Brahman. At the same time, I am Atman. In this body, I am Atma. In all over the world, I am Brahman. Are you getting it? So how we have to understand this? This is Jiva. The nature of Jiva is Atman. This is the universe. The universe nature is, or the Lord's nature is Brahman. So here Kshetrajna means Atman and Brahman. Okay, the truth is called Kshetrajna. Yata prakasheti ekaha krishnam lokavam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakasheti bharata. One sun is giving light to the whole world. In the same way, one Brahman is illuminating the whole universe. Brahman alone, the truth. Okay? So the Kshetrajna means inside the Jiva, Atma. Kshetrajna means in the universe, Brahman. Is it okay? All right. And what is the difference between Ishvara and Brahman? When you say Brahman, Ishvara, both are same or different? Why is called Ishvara? Why is called Brahman? Now, yesterday we studied this. Yesterday we studied this. Okay, Brahman. The Brahman unites with Maya. Maya has got three gunas: Sattva, Tamas, Rajas. When Brahman unites with Maya, he becomes Ishvara. Okay? Well, Brahman unites with Maya is called Ishvara. The equation. Ishvara, if you take Maya from Ishvara, remove, then he becomes Brahman. Getting it? Ayo, yesterday science class, today mathematics class. Simple. Sir, when Brahman unites, Brahman is pure Satchitananda. When Brahman unites with Maya, it becomes Ishvara. Ishvara means he started working. Srishti Sthitilaya. Okay, Srishti Sthitilaya. He started creating the universe and organizing and destroying. When he is very busy with the universe, his name is Ishvara. There is no creation. Only alone he is lying down. Brahman. There is no Jagat. Only Brahman. When Brahman unites with Maya, he creates universe and his name is Ishvara. Ishvara means busy person. Brahman means lying down in the easy chair. That's all. You go to office, your name is Ishvara. You are there in your room and lying down. You are Brahman. So there is no activity. So Brahman to be meditated, Ishvara to be worshipped. Are you getting it? We worship a lot of the universe. Give me something, please save me and solve my problem. We worship Ishvara, but we meditate Brahman. You getting it? So from Ishvara, from Ishvara when we minus, Jagat disappears. So if Maya goes, the Jagat also disappears, the Ishvara will become Brahman. There is no activity, simply he is there. So Brahman, there is no activity. Ishvara, there is activity. This is a difference between Brahman and Ishvara. Is it okay? Okay. So in 13th chapter, it is discussed about the Brahman. Brahman, in the name of Kshetrajna. That is a goal. Father, why your name is father? Because you got child. Therefore, you become father. Giving chocolate, sweets to all. I become father. I become father. When you refer with a child, this man name is father. There is no child, no wife. Brahmachari. Same person. He is alone. When he is alone without wife and without children, brahmachari. You getting it? When he gets married, get children, samsari. The activity started. He cannot sit. He has to go here and there, get money and get a house, get car. Very busy person. You getting it? With reference to child, his name is father. There is no child, no wife, brahmachari. That's all. With reference to the universe, Ishvara, there is no universe, Brahman. Getting it? Both are same. Understood, I know. And very nice, the Tayumanar Swamigal, one line brings very nice line. You will enjoy this line. He says, அகிலாண்டகோடி இன்று அன்னையே பெண்ணையும் கண்ணியன மறை பேசும் ஆனந்த ரூப மயிலே. This is a line Tamil. மலை வளர் காதலி. This is the topic name is Malai Valar Kadali. Swami, Tayumana Swami sings. So the line is a very brilliant line. Akhilandagodi indra Annaye. So, oh Devi, you gave birth to this universe. Annai. When you give birth, your name is mother. Okay? Because I see the whole universe. This universe came from your mother. Akhilandagodi indra Annai, mother. Pinnayum. And the Vedas are telling you are not mother, you are unmarried girl. Kanni. Kanni means unmarried. You are unmarried. And you are married and you brought this universe. I do not know whether you are mother or Kanni. Why Tayumana Swami is getting confused? The first line he says, Akilanda Kodi, therefore you are mother. After some time, I say there is no Akilandam, therefore you are Kanni. Whether the universe is experienced or not experienced, in one way, when I see the universe, you are the mother. Actually speaking, there is no universe, therefore you are Kanni only. Therefore, Kanyakumari. I do not know whether you are mother or Kanni. You are both. When I see this universe, you are mother. Actually speaking, there is no universe, therefore you are Kanni. Very brilliant line. அகிலாண்டகோடி ஈன்ற அன்னையே பின்னையும் கன்னி என மறை பேசும் ஆனந்த ரூப மயிலே. See the line. The Vedas are telling you are Kanni. Kanni means you are unmarried. But I see you are the mother of the universe. Why? I am occupied with or influenced by with avidya and maya. Therefore, I see this universe. Therefore, you become mother. Actually speaking, there is no universe. Therefore, you are Kanni. Who says? Vedas are telling like that. Very interesting standpoint. Okay. So this line, I thought very nice line to share with you. Oh, brilliant. Super. Akhilandagodi indra annaye pennayum kanni ena marai pesum ananda roopa mayile. He says ananda roopa mayile. He says. Nice. Mayil means peacock. You are a very beautiful peacock. Okay. Akhilandeshwari. She is then Trichy. Next question, when we are asked to move from tamas to rajas to sattva, is it for antakarna? For antakarna, where should we apply this if all of creation is mixed with all gunas? Nice question. You move from tamas to rajas to sattva, that means it is from antakarna only. Antakarna. Antakarna is made up of sattva, rajas, tamas, that's all. Coffee means what? Coffee means what? The decoction will be there, milk will be there, sugar will be there, water will be there. You remove all the four parts, there is no coffee. It's made up of, it's a content of all the four things. If you remove all the things, there's no coffee. Otherwise, you ask them, hey, can you give me coffee? So this man brings decoction separate. what do you call, milk separate, water separate, and sugar separate. I asked you coffee, you make it. You make it. Everything is separate. If you bring all this together, you make coffee. If a decoction goes so much, it becomes kashayam. Milk goes so much. What is this? Like rasam. Eh? Sugar goes more. I asked you coffee, but you brought payasam. What is this? Sugar is more good. Right composition, nice coffee. So antakarna is none other than a combination of sattva, rajas, tamas. That's all. Going beyond sattva, rajas, tamas means going beyond antakarna. That's all. Is it okay? How to apply means we have to get up early in the morning. Ayyo, first day failure. 4:30 you will get up early in the morning. Huh? I get up, what should I do? You have to do japa. 5 minutes japa, then I will sleep. 4 o'clock getting up and taking bath, fresh water, go to puja hall and half closed eye. Why? Already tamas. It's not divinely person. Half closed eye. Sit there in the puja hall. I'm already sleepy. Oh, super. After bath, very nice sleep. Okay, how you have to manage because people are watching me. 4 o'clock you got on, you chant something. After 5 minutes, go to bed and sleep. Appa. I think after bath, the sleep is so nice. Tamas, we have to get up from tamas. We have to be very active. You have to have some work, then only you will not sleep. If there is no work, the mind will go to sleep. If you make your life completely busy schedule, then tamas will fly away from you. From tamas, you have to bring the rajas. Through the rajas only, tamas will be eradicated. If you are very rajasic, slowly, we have to study and reflect. From the rajas, we can move forward. So from the sattva, we can go beyond sattva. Okay. The point is here, the goal of life is indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Go beyond triguna, go beyond karma, go beyond body, go beyond inauspiciousness. These are the words used by Krishna. So go beyond three gunas means go beyond the mind. That's all. You getting it? Beyond antakarana. In Bhagavad Gita, this is what that. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yapriyati samadbhavam yati nastyatra sampe. Krishna says in the 8th chapter, drop the body and go beyond the body. Drop the body, go beyond the body means liberation. Liberation is told in a different way. 8th chapter, okay? In 9th chapter, idam tate guhyadam praksha manasuyave jnanam vijnana sahidam yajnatva mokshasya ashubhat. He says, you will be released from ashubha. Inauspiciousness means you will go beyond the world. You will go beyond the body or you will go beyond this world, okay? Now another chapter, 14th chapter, etan gunan etan atitya trin dehi deha samudbhava. You go beyond the three guna. Go beyond the three guna, go beyond this world, go beyond the body. And one more place, asakta buddhi sarvatra jidatma vigata spragaha naishkarmya siddhim labat paramam sannyasena adhigacchati. In 18th chapter, you go beyond karma, naishkarmya siddhi. In many places, Bhagavad Gita, beyond mind, beyond triguna, beyond the body, beyond this world, beyond the karma. That means all these are making a problem in our life. This world is making the problem. Go beyond it. The karma is making problem. Go beyond the karma. Body is making the problem. Go beyond the body. The trigunas are making problem. Go beyond the triguna. You getting it? Our mind is making, but go beyond the mind. Okay, one of the way to tell that guna nityan atitya trin, you go beyond the three gunas means what? You have to go beyond the mind or antakarana. That's all. The goal is indicated in Bhagavad Gita in different ways. Therefore, we have to cross a triguna. Crossing triguna means crossing the mind. Okay? Because mind only brings us down and gives us samsara. So go beyond triguna means go beyond mind. I think you understood this. Can I give some examples for us to understand the difference between apana and udana prana? Apana and udana. What's the difference between Apana and Udana? Okay. So in Vedanta Sara, the book Vedanta Sara, it is given very nicely. All the Panchaprana I brought, but we can see only Apana and Udana. Apana and Udana. The meaning is Apana, the prana, that vital force which goes downward. The Apana which works, so unwanted air goes down. I'm not telling more than that, okay? So you understood what is Apana's work. So it helps us to get it down. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya is giving this. And the earth will pull this kind of the unnecessary things from the body. So downward. So that vital force which goes downward is called Apana. Udana means ascending vital force which helps the passing out from the body, which helps the jiva at the time of death. The jiva should go out of the body. Something should pull us. That pulling force is called Udana. Particularly the Udana will work at the time of death. It's the jiva is taken from the body by Udana. Getting it? In the soda bottle, you open the soda bottle. You have that kind of thing and you remove it. The upward. So the Apana will work downward and the Udana will help the jiva to get out of the body at the time of death. Because the jiva is connected in the body. So some force should come and the force should pull this out. It should go out. This is called Udana. Okay, these are the two pranas are working here. That's all. So we finished today's the question and answer also. Tomorrow is a very, very interesting topic, karma.
Swamiji,
Okay.
there's a gentleman with the hand raised for a question.
Right. Yes.
You can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Swamiji,
Ah.
thank you very much for all the great lectures. I have been following you from the time that you started on this Sanskrit level 1. Thank you very much. But the reason I called today is that I have some information that could be useful. There is an app in United States available called Zoom. It starts with a X. It is a subsidiary of PayPal that allows us to transfer funds to any bank account in India for just a very few dollars, like $2 or $3. And I have been successful in transferring money to your bank account that you gave in one of the earlier lectures in some time ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And there was no problem at all. Just I want to let you know if that is something that is easier for you to get the funds.
Okay. You send me the email with all the details, then I will go through that.
Yes, it is called Zoom. It's very simple.
Oh.
Just we need your bank account number and the location of the bank. That's all we need. And it is matter of minutes. It is just transfers it. So
because why I'm telling this from India to India, from Indian bank to Indian bank should come. So all digitalized and so much of the protocols from government side also. If it is organization also should have this kind of proper system. So CCMT Mumbai has got that kind of system. They can get directly from foreign countries.
some more.